I think it's pretty safe to say that when we examine Star Wars The Last Jedi and of course The Rise of Skywalker, a lot of fans around the world have issues with these movies based on what Disney and Lucasfilm actually did to the character of Luke Skywalker and specific key creative choices for Episode 9. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, as of right now, we do know that Disney Star Wars is going under major different changes, of course, all thanks to new Disney CEO Bob Chapek for really providing a different, I guess you could say, guide for Star Wars. Essentially, what we are going to get is we're going to get a brand new Star Wars universe where everything ranging from comics, books, novels, video games, movies, and TV shows are all going to interconnect with each other. That's really going to be modeled after the MCU, and that's exactly what Chapek wants to do. He wants to make this new Star Wars universe to be, if not more successful or maybe as successful as the MCU, and that's going to be a very big challenge. It's not that as if they are in competition with the MCU, because it's still under Disney, but they want to make the Star Wars brand as successful as that in order to really take advantage of Star Wars as much as they can. Now, obviously, they're in a phase of desperation. It really seems like a desperate attempt at all these different fixes that they are currently making to the Star Wars universe, and what's really intriguing all has to do with Mark Hamill, Rian Johnson, and the character of Luke Skywalker. Now, on top of all of this, now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are finished with The Rise of Skywalker, they are focused on their new Star Wars trilogy of films as well as their new Star Wars universe. Currently, the new Disney CEO, Bob Chapek, has been making many changes over at Lucasfilm in order to create a brighter future for the Star Wars brand. Now, it's noted that currently the new universe is being developed by Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, and even creator George Lucas. However, it's explained that behind the scenes, many projects are being planned out for the entire decade's worth of Star Wars material. It's noted that behind the scenes, creator Rian Johnson has been very frustrated and angry with actor Mark Hamill. Recently, of course, since Mark Hamill has decided to take part in making an appearance as Luke Skywalker in the upcoming The Mandalorian Season 3 that is set to release sometime in 2021 that is going to have a major effect on The Last Jedi. Now, it's also noted that Rian Johnson is also angry with Mark Hamill for the reason that Hamill will be overlooking The Last Jedi reset that is in the works. Essentially, the new Disney CEO, Bob Chapek, is going to provide a new cut of the film sometime in 2023, and that George, John, and Dave are on board with key creative choices for this new approach, and that Mark Hamill is said to eventually be involved with how the character of Luke Skywalker should be edited in this new cut of The Last Jedi. Not just that, but also George Lucas has specifically requested Hamill to overlook the major retcons of Luke Skywalker that will be made for The Last Jedi in order to change the character of Luke in The Last Jedi. This will be done both in the film and in books, novels, and comics, and that since Mark Hamill loves comics and books, he will be involved with the process of how to accurately tell the story of Luke with George by his side. So, the thing about Rian Johnson, you can see as, the fact that he is very upset with these decisions by Bob Chapek and George, John, and Dave of really providing this reset to The Last Jedi. I don't know if you guys knew this, but basically what Chapek is allowing is that he's going to allow a different cut of The Last Jedi to be released 3 years from now on Disney+, as well as the JJ cut for The Rise of Skywalker. So those two different versions of those movies are going to be a thing on Disney+. Now, not just that, that's not the only reason as to why Rian Johnson has some frustrations with Mark Hamill as of right now, but it's also because of Mark Hamill essentially overlooking all of the key creative choices for his return in The Mandalorian Season 3 as Luke, and not just that, but also for the comics, the books, the novels, that's really going to reset or restart The Last Jedi. And that Mark Hamill's going to have a role in exactly how to tell the character of Luke accurately, with George Lucas helping him. That's going to be very interesting. I will add, I'm very excited for this new Star Wars universe. The fact that they really are trying their absolute best in order to make real big changes to the Star Wars brand as we know it. This really is a big deal for Star Wars fans. Some Star Wars fans are still very skeptical on exactly how this new universe is really going to resonate with everybody and whether or not it will be as successful as the old one, years and years ago. The last thing I really have to put out here real quick is the fact that when we look at Rian Johnson, we've seen how he really defends all of his ideas. And yes, he's a writer, he's the creator of the movie, I understand that. But a lot of fans had issues with this movie, and no matter the amount of issues that the fans had, Rian Johnson would always say that the fans were essentially wrong, and that his story is very accurate to how Luke was told in the original trilogy. In my opinion, that just does not actually line up in any way, shape, or form. So, with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.